Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tavern Talk. We're going to get into our next episode rather quickly here, because last time we left off on a very dramatic note and found our inn to be completely submerged by, I think, the waters of the Twilight Chasm realm. So we'll see how that gets resolved and what adventurers step out to save the world from impending doom. Act 3, The Twilight Flood. 14, Rising Tides, 18th of the Astral Moon. Grace? Is Grace here? Good mythical morning to you too, Hex. This isn't funny, innkeeper. Tell me, is she here? Please tell me she's here. She is. I'll let her know you are too. Thank you. By the dragons, I was worried sick. So sick. She'll be happy to know that you're safe and sound too. The flood was enormous. If she had gotten caught up in it... Oh no, 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 no. I don't want to even begin to imagine. Then don't. How about a drink to calm your nerves? Yes, a drink sounds great. Something that will untangle my thoughts and help me focus. I'll see what I can do. I think we'll just do a sparkling nebula. Make it easy. And do pat, 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 pat. Have we done... I know there's an achievement for making all of them. I don't know if we've done... Let's do the new one. I think we can do that. The Thunder Sage. And then 1 intelligence. 1 agility. And then 2 strength. Silent out. Maybe this will help clear your head, your mind. It does, at least a little bit. Thank you, innkeeper. Hex, good to see you safe and well. You too, where have you been? Are you alright? Did you get hurt? Oh. I'm fine. The innkeeper and yesterday's superstars took good care of me. Just as you took good care of us. The least we could have done was be there for each other. How have you been, dear brother? Did you get hurt? No, but I was worried about you. The whole night, locked in that damned house, and all I could think about was how the flood might have... Why didn't you tell me you were going to the tavern? I looked everywhere for you. Oh, sorry. I didn't know I needed your permission to go outside. That's not what I'm trying to say. Then what are you trying to say? That you could have gotten hurt and I wouldn't have known. I don't expect a tsunami to hit Gaia every day. That wasn't in the foreseeable future, Hexy. Uncontrollable things happen, and when they do, we do our best to overcome them. Also, I can protect myself quite well. Still, how was I supposed to know that you were safe? I'm an adult, you know? You tried trusting in my capabilities. Furthermore, PSAOR was very useful last semester. I don't know what that is. PSAOR. Protective sigils and other remedies. Also, the tavern itself is well protected by my own brand of sigils. That's at least something. Yes, I'm very thankful the innkeeper and her tavern kept me safe. I didn't mean to worry you. I didn't plan on being gone for so long, but then the flood happened. Okay, sure. How have you been holding up? Is the house alright? Apart from some minor damage and some leakage in the roof, I suppose it'll be fine. I wasn't even aware of the approach of flood until the house's foundation started trembling. I was busy in my workshop harvesting the essence of Dimension 567 for my research. I hope you didn't rip a hole in the fiber of magic again. I didn't, and even if I did, you couldn't have stopped me. You were there after all. Right. But I can't scold you now. You won't want to when you find out I actually managed to harvest something. You did? That's amazing. What a huge breakthrough that would mean. I created a teeny tiny rift to the astral realm and got my hands on some stardust. Well, sorta. How so? I got an astral shard when the stars fell. Ah, I see. There's still the issue of never knowing exactly what might come through when you open these kinds of rifts. Could be anything or anyone. Like creatures, for example. That wouldn't be good. Yeah, it wouldn't. Because when your sister disappears again, you wouldn't know if she got eaten by a creature or is just out for a stroll. Hex, cut it out. What? We get it, alright? I went away, you were worried, we get it. But I'm my own person and I can do what I like. I'm getting tired of this. Well, me too. Then stop. I don't want to fight. Then don't. Sorry. It's fine. We shouldn't spend our time fighting when there are so many more interesting things going on. How about a wee bit of distraction? Oh, we could go outside and see if we can take samples of the floodwater. Exactly. Who knows? Maybe it holds spectacular and rare magical properties. That sounds lit. Maybe it'll help me finish my long-term research project. Possibly, though to access the primordial vortex you'd need primordial seawater, I know, but who knows what we'll find. Don't forget to fill me in on your research. Theopractically, I'd tell you anything, but only theopractically. Wouldn't have expected anything else. Thank you, innkeeper, for hosting me the night and all. See you soon. New information about Hex. Hex loves his sister dearly, but their relationship seems strange. He praises and adores her, and he's very worried about possibly losing her. At the same time, he's always risking his life, looking for thrilling and dangerous spells with no concern for his own health. Good morning, you two. Did you sleep well? As well as we could, with the sweet song of stormy waves pattering against our windows. So very well, and with inspiring dreams. Glad to hear that. Your impromptu concert certainly helped me sleep. Because it was so boring? No, because it calmed my nerves. All of our nerves, I think. Not that I have any. You don't have any nerves? Is that a phantasm thing? No, I meant those metaphorical nerves. Oh, you get those too? No, of course not. I'm Voy. Well, yeah, sometimes. Mostly when I have to perform. Isn't that embarrassing? Not really. At all. That's also make me nervous. Oh, though, I have to say, last night performing with you for Grace and the Innkeeper, it was kind of relaxing. I could just lose myself in the performance without having to worry about what anyone would think of me. Not that I ever do, but it was nice. We should make more music together sometime. Actually, Fable just got started on a new song. Maybe you can collaborate. Really? That would be awesome. Well, yes, you're right. That would be awesome. I think working on it together could be fun. Hell yeah. Oh, sorry. Hooray! I'm looking forward to our grand collaboration. And charming you with it, Innkeeper. Alright. Oh. You're supposed to say you're also looking forward to it. I am very much looking forward to it. That's what I thought. Aren't we gonna be cool together? The coolest. Too cool for me to describe. I already know will blow you away. I'm counting on it. Enough chit-chat. I should check on the village. Maybe someone needs a good song to cheer him up. I'm sure Baya would love one. I think Baya was probably cheered up by a good flood. But speaking of her, maybe you can hand out some of her spa coupons for me? Sure thing. Her spa rocks. I shall start by enlightening Grace. Is she still here? No, she just left, together with Hex. Something about primordial water. Those wizards. I'll try to catch up to them. See you soon! Don't finish the song without me, Fable. I'll wait for you. Can I get one of those coupons? Sure you can. Just make sure to tell Baya I sent you. Of course. What a strange morning, or exciting morning? I think both. Would you like a morning drink? Yes, something that will help me with my writing my song, please. I think intelligence then? Oh, charisma. Pow pow. I think spoken heart makes the most sense. Tried and true. A drink with 0 primordial water. Maybe. It does taste a little primordial and very delicious. Perfect. You know, last night when I couldn't sleep, I was watching the fish swimming by the windows. Their scales kept reflecting in the water, making them shift and shimmer like they almost weren't there. I was mesmerized by them. It was like a dream that kept pulling me toward the waves. It was beautiful and haunted. Do you think it looks like that every day somewhere? That beautiful? That haunting? I think any place we can imagine exists somewhere, if only in our heads. Oh, sorry. Yawning over here. I'd like to see all of those places. I don't think they're all safe to see. Fable, by the dragons, they're here. Are you alright? I am. The innkeeper kept me safe. It's good to see you both are well, too. Couldn't you have let us know you were breathing? We couldn't find you anywhere. I'm sorry, I just woke up. Were you guys worried about me? Maybe. Of course we were. Don't even know if you can swim. I can you? Of course. No. Oh, poor Cyrillin. Oh, we should teach you sometime. Sure. Thank you for worrying about me, but I actually had a pretty nice night. Foy and I gave Grace and the innkeeper a small concert while we were all stuck inside. Oh, sad that we missed that. Oh, poor Kumo. I can track down Void to give you guys an encore. That'd be nice. I'm sorry I didn't get around to picking you up. It's okay. I bet the roads were busy. Yeah, it was a little tough getting out. Rufus loved it though. I think he made some new friends. Seems like this catastrophe had some pleasant side effects. What happened anyway? Did a whale eat a moon this time? No idea what that's supposed to mean, but no. Or maybe no idea how it happened. They say the primordial sea flooded the Twilight Chasm, and it spilled out through its portals to Fesoa, leaving us with this mess. That's new. At least the other continents probably got through it without much trouble. For once, they can be less jealous of our portals. I do hope everyone's okay. Everyone we could check on is. Luckily for us, the water's drained enough to rescue everyone around here. Though I heard that underwater hasn't emerged yet. Happy to see you all emerged. Mostly. What does that mean? Are you still looking for someone? Yes. I was wondering if Melly is here. Oh no. She wasn't home when I checked on her. No. She didn't stop by yesterday, nor today. Did you see her before that? Did she say where she'd be going? I'm afraid she hasn't been in since you returned from Zoford. That wizard punk hasn't seen her either. Took a second to ask him when he almost broke down Kumo's door looking for Grace. Do we know if she can swim? I'm sure she can, and I'm sure she's just taken shelter somewhere else. You taught her how to hide well after all. Maybe she's just putting that to good use. When I returned yesterday, I found Rufus eating out of a strange apparatus that disperses food and water every couple of hours. Like someone really smart set it up for him in their absence. Yes, he was gorging himself on some food, but Melly was nowhere to be found. Oh, that's worrying. Did she leave a note? No. Oh no. I hope Melly's okay. I'd be worried. Maybe ask Jade for help? She's very good at finding things. I shall investigate that avenue right now. Fable, would you be okay with moving our time? Time? You got an appointment or something? More like a date. Can't wait for that story. I'll tell you later. But, yes, we should move it. This isn't the kind of dancing in the rain I was hoping for. Me either. Another time then? Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Me too. I hope she didn't try to investigate the fish. They'd eat her alive. Sounds a little more hopeful. The girl's savvy. I mean, look at that contraption she left behind. Ain't no fish got a chance against her. Being hopeful isn't really my thing. Then make it your thing. I'll let you know when I find her. Poor Kumo, I hope Ellie's okay. Such a man of few words. A man of something words. He's just worried. Uh-huh. Speaking of worries and words, Cyrillin, it's good to finally see you back. How was the escorting? I hope you didn't get too wet. It sure was something. Certainly have had enough of nobility for a while. Got any more details for me? Well, actually, this can wait a bit, right? Yes. Thanks for understanding. I'll be back later, once I can think more clearly. I'd like to check up on Uncle Dragon, make sure the old fart's still up and running. Fable, I'm guessing you'd like to check in on your family too? Yes, I would love to make sure everyone's alright. Maybe Melly's with the Amaranthine Hydra? She really wanted to ask it for tea recommendations. I'm counting on you returning with a good story. Will do. Got a good one for you. I'll see if I can drag Rhea and Fancy Pants along as well. I think they could use a drink. Speaking of which, got one for the road? Sure. Something strong to get you through all that socializing? You got it. I think Southern Brawler? Yeah, that's her favorite. So we could do Sailor's Courage. No, let's just stick with what we know. Here, the strongest thing I could brew up for you. Thanks. Miss these drinks a little. Oh, that's sweet. Don't dwell on it. Anyway, Fable, let's go. I'll be right there. I'm sure everybody will be okay, Innkeeper, so don't you worry about it. And make sure to keep a hot chocolate warm for Melly. I'm sure she'd love one of those. I'll give it my best. I know you will. Don't swim out too far. We'll see. The waters are dangerous these days. Just what are you up to? It must be our mysterious friend. Time to make sure I have enough ingredients for hot chocolate around, I guess. Good to see that you're open, Inky. And a good evening to you too, Una. Ha! Spare me the babbling. Though I'm glad you seem unharmed. I am, thanks to some protective spells I put on the inn a while back. Works better than any insurance. What about you? Are you unharmed? I'm as good as new. I'd be missing an arm, but that doesn't mean I forgot how to swim. It's easier than walking, actually. And breathing in water instead of air was unexpectedly nice. These gills aren't just for decorative purposes. Felt a little bit more like home, you know? But the water tasted different than that of the Astral Sea. More primordial, I might even say. Yeah, I figured. But you don't seem very worried about it. Nah, whatever happens is none of my business now. I'm retired. And water also doesn't bother me. Shouldn't bother you too much either, alright? Since you're so close to... I knew you wouldn't forget. I might be old, but I'm not senile. So I think the innkeeper is... We're not human. Like, we're some kind of magical creature tied very closely to the primordial sea. But we don't know that much. I'm kind of curious to see if they slip anything in here about us. Me either. So you wouldn't call the primordial sea your home then? I've inhabited a few planes already. My past doesn't define the word home for me anymore. But you're right, primordial water doesn't do any harm to me. Even if I wanted to drown in it, I wouldn't be able to. But honestly, I was more worried about my patrons and the inn itself. I hope everyone is safe and well. Don't worry too much about all your regulars. Adventurers are tough folk, and your drinks toughen them up even further. I have faith that you're right. But your tavern... Well, let's just say it has definitely seen better days. Ah, that's kind of an understatement. It looks like... shit. Ouch. I've been working the whole day to clean up as much as I can. My condolences. Say, have you ever talked to the Wizard of Morlia? Morlia? No, sadly I haven't had the pleasure. Oh, you should if you get the chance. He's always loved all kinds of spells and enchantments. More the kind involving trickery, like puzzles and traps. I'm sure he'd also know a protective spell or two. I mean, he's been protecting his wizard tower for quite some time now. I'll keep that in mind if I ever get to meet him. But I suppose you're not just here to talk? How about a drink? Ha, you definitely have a way with customer service. How about a drink that'll wake up my old muscles, so I can help you tidy your tavern afterwards? I can't quite remember having asked for help. And what's that? My old ears suddenly can't understand what you're saying. How unfortunate. Maybe a strong drink would help. Alright, coming right up. Same thing as before. There you go. A drink powerful like the Astral Sea. Wonderful. I consumed enough primordial water to last me weeks. And it doesn't taste exactly like home, but the hint of elemental magic revives some old memories. I gotta say, you definitely know your craft. Thank you. Could I maybe convince you to just relax and let me do my work? You'd like that, wouldn't you? Forget it. Let's clean this messy tavern. If you insist. before I forget. All that water swept up some animal remains into my pockets. Don't really know where they came from, and I don't feel any kind of astral energy coming from them. So I assume they're either Gaian or primordial. Before I stab myself with them while cleaning, I wanted to check if you have any use for them. Stab? Yeah, they're surprisingly sharp. Now I'm curious, let me see. Ha, you're so easy. Thank you, Una. They might not be primordial, but I think I know just what to do with them. Gonna spice up some drinks? Maybe. Can't wait to try them then. Now let's spice up this old rusty tavern. What we learn about Una. Since she's been around for a while, she's witnessed many things younger folks haven't. Mere harbingers of global calamity couldn't shake her. Maybe that's just the astral sea mentality. She'd also never get involved in helping or figuring out what happened. Absolutely not, because she's retired. Duh. It's hard to tell the time of day. I got an achievement for that. The hero's journey. Hey, Inky. Rhea. Inky. Cyrilin. Greetings, Innkeeper. Hello, Archie. Finally came to tell you the tale of tales. Told you we'd be back with a good one, didn't I? Indeed. It's a thrilling story, be certain. That said, you look like you got some thrilling stories to tell yourself. None thrill me as much as yours will. Well, grant me one question still. Shoot. Who's that granny on your roof? An old friend of mine. She's helping me tidy up the tavern after the flood. She's a really nice friend then. I suppose so. I didn't know she was on the roof. Are a lot of tiles missing? Half of them. About a quarter. Just a few, actually. That's not particularly conclusive, but I trust Una and her abilities. Sometimes. Closing your eyes is the reason you'll run into the edge of blade someday. Or not, if I'm lucky. If. Did the flood hit you as well? You bet. Had to hold on to Rhea for a quick second there, or else she would have been swept away like a twig. On your wish. I don't know what that says. We had just passed Thamus when it happened. Luckily, there were 2 carriages nearby, which, between sturdy trees and a large boulder, we managed to pull ourselves out of the raging waters and into those carriages. Like the dragons, it could have gone south real quick. And your tavern looks a wee bit wet as well. It is. I've been working non-stop to clean it up. That's not good. Working non-stop comes with being self-employed. I get. No, I mean the flood. Never heard of a flood that massive. It spread all the way from Thamus to Zenith. Yeah, right. You're right. We certainly aren't close to the sea. Thamus maybe, but not your end. It's all still very recent. We'll have to wait until we know the extent of it. Back to your story. How was the journey to Diria? And how'd you manage with the flood? The journey to Diria itself was uneventful, but venturing to the Dirian capital all the more so. As for the flood, it didn't really bother us until we arrived back on the mainland. I think we should tell the story chronologically. That might make it a bit easier to digest. Thank you, Archie. Alright then, go ahead. Me? Yeah, you're good at telling stories after all. You think so? Alright, so listen closely, for what's about to unfold is a story as terrifying as it is heroic. Here we go. It was midnight, and the moon was standing high when the three adventurers assembled in their meeting point. Didn't know we were taking this carrot here along. Was a surprise. A pleasant one, I hope. Having one party member more than anticipated was at least more pleasant than the surprises that lay ahead. Now I'm intrigued. So accustomed to the pleasant surprise, we ventured to Theodore's abode in Thamus. Very fancy. Very expensive. Don't think I've ever seen such a posh bit before. 3 stories tall. For one person. To be fair, one person and a lot of staff, like cooks, maids, and a gardener. For a holiday residence, even worse. I'd very much appreciate it if we didn't judge people based on their amount of wealth. Or their lack thereof. Exactly. So, you arrived at this holiday residence in Thamus. Right. We approached the gates, rang the bell. The fog was creeping up around the house like it was pressuring us to go in. A man in a black suit opened the gate. With a deep, raspy voice said, "State your business." Some sort of butler told him, "Listen up, clown. You are our business." Which wasn't very polite. No one asked you. Maybe you should have, and then we wouldn't have. Then they wouldn't have thought we were bandits. Well, we got that cleared up, didn't we? Because I introduced myself quickly when I saw some guards already approaching. I introduced myself as Gustav Archibald Richmond III. Knowing my family and the childhood friendship that Theo and I have fostered for over 2 decades, the butler relaxed and let us through. You know what's funny, Inky? What? The other lad was also a third. Born in the same generation, both the third of our names. Perhaps that's why we were destined to be friends, just like our fathers and their fathers. Theodore Hugo Frederick Sinclair III is his full name. But no one calls him that. We called him Theodore. Or Theo. Either way, we had rang him out of his sleep, so he wasn't all that amused to see us. And then he laid eyes upon ye, Ginger, never seen a gaze light up so fast. What do you mean? That he was happy to see you, that's all. Oh, well, I'm always happy to see him also. So when we caught sight of each other, all violent tensions were blown away. And others were created. I found our visit very peaceful. Yeah, Theo's a spoiled lad, offered us tea and biscuits while we waited for him to pack his things. Not a fan of tea? No. Just a method to bribe you, that's all. Got 'em on your good side, then you throw 'em off a cliff. I'd like to disagree. Hospitality is not bribing. Also, no one threw you off a cliff. Metaphorically. He is the reason we almost died, though. Seer, you don't need to blame the customer. Incidents like that are the reason they need help. Right. It will all make sense when we get there. So after Theo packed his things, we made our way to Winmore at sunrise. From there we took a ship, a brig, just for us, the whole crew for a diplomat. Safety is important for a politician. The food was great, to say the least. At least. We had to take the ship as, you might be aware, Innkeeper, the bridge connecting Dyria and the mainland was destroyed. I recall. So the ship we took brought us to Twinborough and not Amasa itself. Why was that? Apparently the debris from the bridge is a safety hazard for passing ships. And if there was one thing we didn't need, it was the distress of the sea, or it was distress at sea. We were lucky with the weather. The sea stayed calm, even with a thunderstorm right behind us. And the mood on the ship was jolly. Theo entertained us with his stories of old. Well, he's a great storyteller. I wonder where he gets all those thrilling narratives from. Actually, I suppose he still reads a lot. We used to read together when we were younger. We'd read the same book, but always one chapter at a time before giving it to the other to read the same chapter. That way, it felt as though we were reading it together. He was always so imaginative. Still is. So we weren't bored a bit before we reached the shore. You're not so bad with stories yourself, lad. I'm glad you like them. Already working on the story about you two. The claw of a rove and the hammer of thunder? Ray of Frostgrip, the hammer of thunder? No. Ray of Frostgrip, the hammer of thunderous strikes. Keep working on it, lad. You're getting there. The story. Can we continue? Of course. We arrived at Twinborough in the late afternoon. The sun was already setting on the horizon, tinting the world in the colors of purple. At that point, none of us could have imagined the world would be tinted in red soon enough. Red like sunrises or red like blood? We got off the ship, and after a short break in Twinborough, we made our way to Amasa. We got about 2/3 of the way there without any issues until darkness settled around us. Type of darkness that creeps up on you like an eerie mist. Type of darkness that chokes all noise out of the world. You know, something is going on if you're hearing nothing. No birds, no crickets, no wind. Just dead silence. Didn't even realize it until Seer pulled me aside and pointed it out. Just as I was explaining it to her, my ears perked up. Far away, I heard some low humming sounds. Didn't hear them myself. I thought you were making it up, imagining noises in the dark to make up for the absence of light. Sometimes the brain does things like that. It was so silent except for that humming, I started getting this weird feeling in my guts. Like a sixth sense? Like that, yeah. Don't know if it's the genes or the experience, but at some point you start feeling when something shifts and things aren't as they should be. Gotcha. Either way, I hear the humming, and it's not long before it turns into growling. That's when I heard it too, deep and guttural. I saw silhouettes in the woods, left and right, their eyes reflecting our tortured light eerily. I huddled closer to Theo to protect him. Soon we were surrounded by a knot of zombies. A lot of them, everywhere. They were moaning and groaning and so ready to feast on us. I grasped Theo's hand because I had to hold on to something. Had to act fast. They'd already seen us and were surrounding us, so running away wasn't an option. Clearly we had to fight our way through, so I readied my sword. It wasn't far to Amasa. I felt sturdy as a rock, like nothing could harm me. I needed to ensure the same for Rhea, Archie, and Theodore. So I reached for the powers of your drink. The woman stopped walking abruptly while these beasts were approaching us. I drew my hammer just in case. I heard her mumble words I didn't understand. Enhanced by that citrine you put in our drinks, I called upon my Baba to ask for guidance. I've never had so much business with the dragons, but she had. I hoped if I reached out, she could lend me some of that. I'd never felt so close to her before. Not even when I spoke to that Chimera. The zombies approached, pressing closer against our dim torchlight, and suddenly a shield of light burst out of her sword, engulfing us, pushing the zombies away as if in an eruption of divine force. It was a light of radiant gold all around us, shimmering softly. I didn't waste any more time and kept going. Honestly, I barely know what I did myself. It's all a haze. Luckily, it seems that the undead are like pack animals, at least for the most part. Made all the slashing easier. Dawn of the Brain Dead. She pushed forward, cutting through the zombies one by one, the rest of us at her heels. But it seemed like a bottomless pit, and more came rushing toward us. The traveling shield blocked most of them, but eventually it began to crack. Fair enough, after a bunch of steady, forceful impacts, anything breaks. But I made sure to push the undead back with my hammer. Meanwhile, Theodore seemed scared. He told me he wished it was just another assassination attempt instead. At least then the foes would have been alive. I was just as terrified, but I did my best to keep him safe. And then he tripped and fell. And I tried to catch him, but he pulled me down with him. Cyrillin was so focused on getting through the ambush that she pressed on. We fell behind, leaving the shimmering shield's presence. Darkness had closed us, and we caught the attention of the zombies, who began cornering us. I couldn't let us die, so I called out for Rhea. By then, I had already noticed they were gone, so I called out to Cyrillin and headed back to the lads. I smashed every undead head that dared to come close. And Archie? Well, I didn't know you had it in you, lad. Well, it was out of necessity. What happened? One of the zombies grabbed Theo's leg and attempted to drag him away from me. But I got up, drew my rapier, and poked the thing right through the eye. It dropped to the ground like a wet towel. Fascinating. A little. When I heard Rhea, I hurled around. They were all by themselves in the distance, almost dying because someone didn't watch their feet. Easy, Sarah. Accidents happen. Accidents kill people. Obviously, I couldn't let that happen, so I rushed back. We lost all of our previous advantage as more came flooding in by the second. Not wanting to waste any more time, I pulled Theo up by his collar, threw him over my shoulder. I wasn't risking any more accidents. Of course, he didn't like that. Later, he said it was invading his personal space. I told him I could have let him die instead. Which maybe wasn't the right response, I guess. Shortly afterwards, we reached the gates of Amasa. The guards came to our aid and helped ward off the zombies. Cyrillin set Theo down, and I helped him inside the safe borders of the city. The horrors were over, and thanks to Cyrillin and Rhea, we'd reached our destination. And to you, kid. Yeah, suppose you didn't do too bad of a job. Theo was beyond thankful. Even though he wasn't amused by being thrown over Cyrillin's shoulder, he understood that she saved his life. He was so impressed that he said it would make for a great story. He even started on a first draft. But after that fight, he felt really inspired to solve the conflict between Dyria and the mainland. So he'll probably have no time to finish it, and he decided to give the manuscript to me. He said he always liked when I told him stories, and that he'd love to hear this tale in my words. I promised him I'd write something up for the next time we see each other. Still a better love story than that one romance book. You mean the one with the vampires? Yeah. I doubt this is going to be a love story. Oh no, does Theo have a crush on Archie and Archie is too blind to realize? Was talking about you two lovebirds. Me and Theo? We're Just friends. Sure you are. Either way, we brought him to his destination in the city, had some tea, and started making our way back by noon. Did you guys not sleep? I mean, good lord. You got to Theo's house that night, the night before at like midnight or 2 a.m. Good lord. It sounds like a D&D party. You know what I mean? Like, when it's a D&D party, you don't stop to take a long rest unless you absolutely have to. We checked out some tourist traps. Their tricks don't work if you know what you're up against. I bought a mug. You sure did? But I already have more than enough mugs at home, so I wanted you to have it, so you'll always remember our heroic adventure. I would love to. I'm an avid keepsake collector. Splendid. Where's it gonna go? Oh, it's gonna go right there. Number 1 innkeeper. Oh, that's so cute. And it's got a little, did you guys see that? It had like a little andu on it. Anyways, afterwards we had some tea and made our way back by noon. Once we arrived back on the mainland, the flood hit like it'd been waiting for us. I can still feel the cold water clinging to my bones. Speaking of, I'll freshen up a bit. I still have mud in my shoes. And then maybe I'll continue with the rest of the story. Of course, take your time. Now it's just us. Indeed. That kid is so green behind the ears. Weren't we all? Can I offer either of you a drink? After a journey like this one, I could use something that tastes like rocks and regenerates my stamina. Coming right up. Pat, 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 pat. Let's give her a frosted lagoon. We got a new infusion, didn't we? Oh, we did. Okay, it gives strength and agility and -2 charisma. Okay. 1 strength and 1 charisma. Thanks, Inky. Much needed. You're welcome. Seer, let's talk about your extraordinary fighting skills. Gotta say, I was really impressed with how you decimated those zombies. It takes a good beast slayer to know one. Nah, I'm more of a general fighting type, you know. I can always appreciate 2 strong hands. And such well-crafted greatsword on top of that. Happy to see you appreciate solid craftsmanship. It was a gift from my Baba. She told me the great dragons themselves gifted it to her, but I don't know if that's true. Have you ever heard of the Great Axe of Ur? The most powerful weapon ever forged. Most powerful weapon ever forged by the origin of this world themselves? You bet. You think it really exists? I mean, Baba loved to tell stories. But if her sword was made by the dragons, maybe Ur's great axe is also more than just a myth? Dwarves have their origin story in the subterranean caves, you know, on the plain of Ur. I grew up in a labyrinth of caves surrounded by gems and ores, legends and tales. I mean, I haven't seen it with my own 2 eyes yet, but I'm convinced the legendary weapon exists. I bet it's so large, I probably wouldn't even recognize it as an axe. I've heard Ur keeps it in their resting place at all times. Yeah, though so far no one has found that yet. And hopefully no one ever has to. What do you mean? You know the tale that if someone was to wake her up, the apocalypse would begin? Well, that's just an old tale, right? Something you tell kids that don't eat their food. You know, eat up or will awaken. Questionable parenting techniques, if you ask me. Yeah, I got to hear that a few times when I was still a wee bairn. All those tales ever did was make me want to craft a legendary weapon myself. Have you ever made something like that? Not yet, but I will soon. Making the greatest weapon ever forged and smashed this year's Warheart blacksmithing competition to bits. I'll outcraft my ex-husband with ease, that jerk. Ex-husband? Yeah, we used to work together. Now he claims I wouldn't stand a chance without him, but I'll prove him wrong. Anyways, Innkeeper, Seer, I think it's getting quite late, and it's been an exhausting week. Absolutely agreed. Let's get some rest. And then look for another quest elsewhere to afford my crafting materials. Good night, you two. Oh, we got more info from Rhea. Since her marriage broke apart, Rhea has been determined to win a famous blacksmithing competition, perhaps to restore a bit of self-confidence or self-worth. That might be a stretch. That's why she's always on the hunt for gold, fallen stars, or whatever other rare and expensive materials. Good night, Cyrillin. Night, Innkeep. Time to feed it. Oh, the water's receded. That's good. Alright. I think we will leave this episode here. I hope you guys have enjoyed the next episode. Next time I hope we find Melly and we can figure out what caused the flood, and hopefully this wasn't foreshadowing and nobody's trying to go wake up to start the apocalypse. I guess we'll have to see though. Until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed, and my video has helped keep you company. And if you don't mind, if you've stuck around this long, if you could like or subscribe, that would help me out greatly. Alright? I hope you have a wonderful day or evening, and I will see you all next week.